Welcome back everyone, we are here again for Saturday's main event, the sprint race. The duration is half of tomorrow's race, but the level of competition on the track is the same. Everything is ready for the start of the Grand Prix. Pressure is on Jack Miller, who starts in pole position. A few moments more to see the start.
And then the Austrian Grand Prix too. There is Dennis Foggia down there, celebrating with Fabio. A party between those two perhaps in Groningen later tonight. Not too sure about Dennis's shorts there. The lights will go out and the Dutch TT is underway, and it's an excellent start from Vinales. And from Quartararo alongside him though, goes in front of Vinales, is being swallowed up by Nakagami past him also. Round the outside, Alex Rins, who led here back in 2019, has also gone through on Vinales, who drops into 5th place. It's Quartararo, made a brilliant launch on the Yamaha to lead this race, with Bagnaia in 2nd place. Nakagami excellent in 3rd, with Rins in 4th, and this is where Vinales has to fight early on. All contact there. Marc Marquez has made an excellent start from 20th on the grid. He's already made up 7 places.
Yeah, Marquez has actually got a very good race pace. I don't think he can threaten the podium, but a top 5 is definitely possible.
It's through the Ruscano for the first time, and Fabio Quartararo's got just the start he wanted. This is where Pecco Bagnaia turn 8, he said that was the only place he was going to be able to pass, and he does. Made contact with Quartararo, and Nakagami has a look on the inside. Quartararo straight back pass, but he's going to go wide, and Pecco Bagnaia leads. He leads the Dutch TT and Ducati. The back going so tough all weekend with a change of direction. Vinales in turn has got through on Rins. This is where the Yamaha comes into its own, Neil.
Yeah, it's the change of direction, the fast change of direction. The Yamaha's not the fastest bike, but through this section, normally you see the Yamaha working really well. He had a look then, did Quartararo thought better of it.
Bagnaia coming it off into the Zimmer chicane for the very first time. 26 laps of this race, 1 down, 25 to go. Marquez up into 11th, past his teammate already. Oh, Paul's got him back in the chicane, but across the line, it's the Ducati of Pecco Bagnaia who leads them from Quartararo, and then Nakagami, who also has quite decent pace this weekend.
Yeah, Nakagami's got a great pace. His issue's always been the first laps of the races. He has qualified better this weekend, but the main thing is he's got that good start, and here we are looking at the map. Taka Nakagami still never had a podium in the MotoGP class.
Could today be his day? Joan Mir there in 8th place, but you might have just seen behind him Marc Marquez not too far behind. He's made up 9 spots. The biggest mover from the grid for Savadori has gone backwards 5. He's the biggest loser from the start of the race, although you might say with Maverick Vinales dropping 3 positions, That's massive as far as his race goes, having chosen that soft front tyre.
Yeah, he has got it. I've just double checked actually on the screen now. We get a live tyre update. The only rider to choose that tyre. What will that give you? Well, it should give you a little bit more side grip, but you lose braking stability. And the one thing that we know Maverick Vinales is not good at is braking. Yamaha's almost touched at that point. Looked a little bit dirty, but the fact that Quartararo was coming over to sort of open the corner out, I think will let him on.
It wasn't a sudden move, was it?
No,
it was a general drift, and Maverick had to roll off in that situation with Quartararo ahead of him. So it's Bagnaia leading them through up to the chicane for the second time. He said his favourite corner on the track was turn 8. We were looking at each other before when we were discussing that. Like, what's going on? But that's where he tried to make the move, didn't he? And you wouldn't have thought that because the Ducati is labouring in change of direction this weekend.
It was interesting actually listening to the leader, Pecco Bagnaia. He said he's got an incredible pace this weekend. What's happened to Rins?
Zarco Rins has
collision at turn 10.
He crashed out of the lead here in 2019. What's gone on here? So
he's on the inside.
Oh, and the right-hander. Oh,
that was... Well... Oh, it depends who you speak to. You speak to Rins now. I'm going to say that's a fair move. It's tight, don't get me wrong, but it's MotoGP. It wasn't like a silly block pass. I'm hoping he doesn't get a long lap penalty for that. I've got a feeling he might though.
Right, okay, well we'll keep our eyes on that one. I'm sure they'll say it's under investigation shortly, but as far as we're concerned, the door's open there, and
the door's open. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. But with some of the penalties we've seen being given out over the last few rounds, that could be a long lap penalty.
It's looking at the moment like Taka Nakagami being a bit of a block for Maverick Vinales there in 4th place. Can Vinales do anything on this run back towards the line through the downward slope? And this is turn 11, and this sequence of 7 corners back to the start-finish line. It's got corners, but it is like a straight, and that's here actually through these fast changes of direction. You thought again Quartararo was maybe going to have a run at Bagnaia. You think the Ducati might have the strength on stability on the brakes into the chicane, but he had enough pace and momentum.
Yeah, he's in too deep there, so that'll affect his exit, as you can see. Bagnaia then that wasn't him using the power of the Ducati. It was just the fact that Quartararo was in way too deep.
Yeah, he was running. You can't imagine the Yamaha would beat that Ducati in a stopping race into the chicane there, but the momentum, that's where he's got to make the moves. You also saw behind Nakagami held off Vinales, and Zarco, who's just set the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:33.4. You feel like Vinales can drop into the 32s. There you are. Oh, right on cue. Thanks for that. Under investigation, the incident between Zarco and Alex Rins.
My fear is by giving long lap penalties for what we're just going to call a racing incident, a racing move, it ends so difficult for the riders because it's always time to make a pass. You have to commit. The rider on the outside has to sit up a little bit. That's racing. It always has been. You don't want that to now start to spoil our sport.
Yeah, and we're all fans of rubbing his racing. You as riders, ex-riders, know, don't you, when something's too much?
Yes.
You know when someone's done something that's naughty.
Yeah, a blatant, silly block pass where you've been round collected, then that's totally different. But from the angles that we saw, I don't think he was.
They do have different angles in race direction. We'll see anyway. It's under investigation as Fabio Quartararo. No further action to be taken. We're pleased to hear that. Fabio Quartararo again through the fast kick of the Ram's hook. Had a look, didn't he, on the inside of Pecco Bagnaia, but not on this occasion. And the Ducati's led longer than you might have expected, but this is what happens. You get Ducati at the front, and it just holds everything up.
Marquez.
Marquez.
So Marquez, as I said, he's got a really good race pace. He's up to 10, so he's made up 10 spots, as you can see there. There's a graphic. Is in time with my words, but his pace is. He hasn't got podium pace. The problem is, I fear if he tries to create podium pace, we're going to see Marquez picking that Honda up out the gravel.
The other thing is, he's gone with the soft rear tyre. So that'll be something. Both he and Pol Espargaro have gone with the softer option. The Honda sometimes can make that work. Gives them a little bit more edge grip earlier on around these fast corners that we get at this brilliant venue. It's so good to have the TT back, isn't it, after missing it in 2020, the first ever year on the Grand Prix calendar. There hadn't been a race, and we missed it, and great to see the fans in the grandstands too. It'll all be on sooner rather than later, ladies and gentlemen. We hope We'll be back at MotoGP venues soon. Now, Valentino Rossi in these early laps has obviously paid a price. He has had really good pace all weekend, qualified in 12, but he's 11. Back to the front, and it's Fabio Quartararo. Just 8 more corners to go. Vinales will take some comfort from the fact that he has got through up into second place. He made a move. Unfortunately, the move just came a little bit late.
Yeah.
The challenge for victory. But I suppose it'll be a shred of comfort somewhere along the line. It's back in the podium fight, back in the fight for victory. Bear in mind, he hasn't had a podium since the opening round in Qatar.
Top 3, and this lad got a great second place today. It was a truly outstanding performance. The team members of the top 3 riders are gathering under the podium after today's superb show. They can finally let off some steam and celebrate.